Okay guys, so today we'll have a discussion on what is threads and concurrency in Java, right? So if we want to understand, right, this is a very crucial thing in terms of like interview perspective. Also, if you want to be a person which has the in-depth knowledge in Java, right, so threads and concurrency becomes a vital point in that, right? So if we want to understand what are threads and what is concurrency, right, so first of all let us go through the exact meaning of this, right? Then we can have a discussion, right? It's not like something we will mug up and learn. It's something that we need to understand, right? So the concurrency here defines that the ability, right, to run a program or to run several programs in parallel, right? Or we can say to run specific parts of the program in parallel, right? So there are two type of things, right? So first of all let us say that this is a point of race in which we have several things, and this race, right, this race one person will run first, and after that, right, the second person will run, after that the third person will run, after that the fourth person will run, and then moves on, right? So this is a sequential type, that okay, when the first person runs, right, after that after he reaches a certain point the second will start. So this is a sequential type of thing, right? And when I say that there is a race in which there are 6 members, right, and they need to, that eventually happens, right, and they need to start it from this line and they need to run in parallel. So this is a parallel type of thing. So similarly we can understand with this help of example that what is concurrency here means that we are running some programs or some specific parts of a program in parallel way, right, in parallel way. So this is the concurrency that we're talking about in Java. So how threads are useful, right? And what are threads? Are there any existence of threads? Threads are not like physical entities or objects that are present in the system, right? These are not those things. This is the thing, let us understand with this help of a diagram, right, that what does exactly we do, right? So let us say that we have open a integrated environment in which we are doing something, or let us say we are opening something. We are opening a text file and we want to save it basically, right? So this is a text file and we want to save it. So this is a program, application program that is there, and what it will do is, first of all, when we click control and save, right, so it will go to this and it will go to this application program, and application program, right, what it does is it writes this data into this physical disk that is present in the system, right? So there is an input output operation that is running, right? So what CPU does is it instructs this application program, right? So now when this program has given this file and it is writing into this physical disk, it involves some time, and this is the ideal time. So here this CPU will be free because it has already given the instruction, right? It has already given the instruction to write it into the file, but this writing part, right, it involves some time, right? So here this time could be utilized, right? This time where the CPU is idle, right, it could be utilized, right? So let us say that it involves, let us say 0.2 milliseconds, right? Or let us, for our understanding, let us say it is 2 seconds, right? 2 seconds. So for these 2 seconds, right, if it is input output operation that is happening on the physical disk, right, so that will be a blocker to you, because you will not be able to do any of the operation on 2 seconds, for this 2 seconds on the screen. But in ideal cases you are able to do, right? Because when you, like, let's say when you save a file, right, when you press control save, and like parallelly you go to something in the application, and let's say you want to open one file, so you are able to do it, right? In the meantime it is writing to the physical disk, right? So that means that there is some operation which is enabling you to make a certain change in the program while some other program is also happening, right? So the switching of the CPU, so CPU has instructed firstly to save this thing into this physical disk, and then the part of the CPU is utilized to open one file, right? So this is happening with the help of threads, right? So one thread went to save the data into this physical disk, and similarly, since we saw that okay, the CPU is free, so another thread came in to use this resource and then do the action, that is opening a file. So this is how we do concurrency. This is not the thing that CPU is doing parallel things, right? It is not parallelly saving the data to physical disk or instructing the machine to save the data into physical disk and opening the file. This is not parallel. This is a very important point to understand, that it is not happening parallelly inside the CPU, right? That CPU is instructing also to save the data and to open some files, right? It is not happening. In CPU it is sequentially happening, but the thing is that this time which is left for idle to CPU is utilized in this operation. That is only the part, right? So sometimes it is misunderstood with the thing that okay, CPU is performing the thing parallelly. No, CPU is going it sequential way only, right? It can only take up this many operations and it will do that only, right? But when the operation is over and the time is left, right, it quickly consumes the next operation to do. It is not waiting to sit idle, right? So that is what is done with the help of threads, right? So threads take up the resource and perform the operation that is instructed to him. So this is basically a basic overview, right, of what is threads, what are concurrency. So now what is the benefit, right? What is the benefit of using threads? So the point number 1 is responsive applications are generated. Responsive applications. So this is one thing, right? Very quick responsive applications, like you are not letting CPU to sit idle. You are constantly throwing threads to the CPU and getting the results. So very quick responsive applications have been produced, right, with this concept. But there is some cases where we can look at the overhead also when we talk in terms of context switching, right? So there is some time involved, and for some cases, right, it can be a delayed process. But overall, right, if we see at the bigger picture, right, this is what is achieved with the help of threads and concurrency. The second thing is very important, is that there is an effective usage of resources, right? There is an effective usage of resources. So whatever resources we have, right, with the help of threads and concurrency, right, there is a effective usage. We are using it very nicely. On the other hand, right, if we see from the developer point of view, right, there are some things which are, bugs if it comes, right, in the production, or if it comes while coding, right, they're very hard to find it out. So if we talk with the help of if we talk in terms of developer perspective, so it really takes effort to find out what is happening wrong and how to remove this bug. So that is some other things, right, in terms of when we become habitual of this, right, we can do it. But yeah, in terms of if we are writing a code, simple plain code, and if we are writing a code that involves threads and concurrency, yeah, so that will be more of detail and to understand. Okay, so this is some advantages and one disadvantage we can find out for threads and concurrency. Otherwise, this concept is very useful, and most of the applications, right, if you see, this is something that needs to be that is always there, and that needs to be understood by the developers properly, and it could help a lot for the application to be very smooth and working. So yeah, that is some basic thing about threads and concurrency. In the next video, we will understand about in the real time with the help of coding, that how this threads and concurrency will give us the optimized results. We'll see the help with this. We'll see with the help of the timestamp that how we have reduced the time with the help of threads.